Welcome to the DTC Concepts YouTube channel. I am Dan, and today I'm here to talk about regrets. I know we all have them. I definitely do. And so today I'm going to walk through the few things I would have done differently in my kitchen after living in the space for 2 years. Some things I knew I was going to regret that I did at the time, but I pushed through because I just wanted to get the project done. So let's dive into them. The first one, which is painful because it was expensive and I knew it was going to bother me, was the finish on my countertop. So when I was looking at counters, in my mind, the stone that you see is the stone that I had pictured in my head that I wanted. However, we were under a time crunch and there was only slabs available in a polished finish, which I did not like. I wanted to go either a satin finish or a honed finish, and the reason being is we are fortunate enough to have our kitchen back up to a full wall of glass doors that open, and I knew a lot of light would be coming in and be very reflective. I also knew, having a small child and him having small friends, that there would be fingerprints galore. And so instead of waiting and delaying the process, which is always a hard thing to do because you're hemorrhaging money and you want to finish, I pushed through. Truthfully, I wish now, looking back, I would have paused, even if it would have been another month on top of the 13 months that we did to wait and have that honed stone. In the long run, I would have been happier. Now, because I did everything so custom and cabinetry runs to the counters and there was 4 slabs needed and we did a whole shelf across the back, there will never be a time where I change this out until we are ready to do a full remodel. So, lesson learned, big regret. Make sure if you think you know something's gonna bother you, you don't push forward with it because it will always bother you. Okay, next up, something that I didn't realize that I would regret. My kitchen flows into my living room. There's a ton of cabinetry, there's a lot of warmth. And so when we were doing our kitchen, I thought, I don't need a panel front fridge. I don't care, it's a kitchen. We are buying a very nice looking fridge. Who cares, right? Well, turns out 2 years later, I care. So when I say panel front fridge, what I mean is instead of it being that stainless steel front, you're going to have the panels of what your kitchen cabinetry are. And this does give a much more custom look. Again, I thought, I don't care, it's a kitchen, I don't mind, it's so somewhat utilitarian. Well, I regret that. And so they have a lot of nice options out there. For a long time, there was only a few brands that did it. It was really expensive, but now, we've done some Z-Line, we've done some, I believe GE makes some panel front, bunch of different options. You can get it even at Lowe's. You don't have to go to a higher end retailer anymore. And I just wish I would have done it. You pick your fridge. When you're working with your cabinet rep, they're going to help you order the custom size panels needed from the front. It screws on and it looks just like the rest of your cabinetry looks. Not really something that I could have known. And in the future, when the fridge goes, I probably will attempt to do a panel front fridge in that space. I'll have to change out the upper cabinet above it. However, it is doable. It will be a pain in the tush. My general contractor will be upset with me, but that is something that I can change in the future, and I try to not let it bother me every day when I walk in. I think, had we just purchased the house and it being this way, it probably would have been an afterthought of like, oh, I would have done this differently. But since I did everything from scratch, I just get angry at myself. And so it's hard, and I knew it was going to be hard. When I was doing the home, I obsessed over every detail because as somebody who does it for a living, I didn't want to do something else 2 years later. Turns out, unavoidable. So, countertop finish, panel front fridge, 2 things that really bother me. Number 3, I have a coffee bar wall / really bourbon wall, but cocktails as well. And I thought, well, we've got the fridge on this side of the kitchen, ice down there, that's fine. However, when you're entertaining and you are cooking and you are working on this side of the kitchen, people are on the other side of our kitchen at that coffee bar / cocktail wall getting drinks, whether we have, pre-made beverages that need ice, or we're just serving liquor on the rocks, it would be really nice to grab a rocks glass, put your ice in it, pour your drink, and it all be contained to that wall. Why I didn't do it, I don't really know. Probably, at the time, I'm making all of these decisions and I'm overwhelmed and I need to get through it and I'm worried about money and it just seems like something I wouldn't care about. Turns out, again, I do care about. So, it's hard when you're rushed in a project. You've got to keep going, especially if you have limited funds. I would have loved to have the luxury of planning this home for a year, then building it for a year and making any revisions along the way that was needed. That was unrealistic for us. We had a finite amount of money and we needed to move out of our rental. And so, we had to do the thing start to finish in about 13 months from purchase to finished product. So those are my big 3 regrets. Hold up. Actually, I just thought of my 4th regret as I was sitting in here, and I don't know why I blanked on it earlier. That is the hood vent and the area above our floating shelf. When we were doing our kitchen, we were just going to leave it painted, let it be simple. We live in California. There is this California cool, relaxed aesthetic. And while I appreciate that, I still love drama. And I want to do this in the future and tile everything up there. Hood vent, the wall, also on the coffee bar wall. I want it to have a restaurant feel. I want it to be layered. And that is one of those things where I can't say it's necessarily a regret because it's something that can easily be adjusted. I do wish I would have done it differently, but I wasn't sure at the time. I think sometimes you just have to live in a space till you realize what you truly want out of it. I want more drama. And so one day there will be more drama. So 4 regrets. Again, hope you found this helpful. Like and subscribe. If you want to share some of your regrets or you have questions as you're doing your remodel, let us know in the comments below. Come back for more tips and tricks and things we wish we would have done different.